cooking radio gave me the worst bruise on my leg.
We are on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll apologize to Kathy now.
On air? Good morning, everyone. We do have a quorum. Welcome to the March 18th meeting of the Council on Aging Board of Directors. As required by law, you're hereby informed that the town will be video and audio taping as well as live broadcasting this public meeting. In addition, anyone in the audience, which there is none, who plans on video or audio taping this meeting must notify the chair prior to the start. We have nobody else here. Order, and did everyone get a copy of the minutes?
Mm-hmm.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So
Moved by Cal, seconded by John. Any questions, changes, alterations to said minutes? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Caleb, do you have anything to comment on? No public comment.
I think he has earbuds in.
That's true. Do you have a report for Julie? Did she send? She did not. Okay. Julie was going to be here. I don't know why she's not. Something must have come up. And I'm just checking. She normally would send me a copy of her report.
It's right here.
It's
on
the back. Okay.
Third page.
You didn't see it.
Should I have a copy?
Yes, you can. Most certainly. She did have a report. Thank you. I will go through it so people who are watching can see. Operational update during and following the blizzard. The COA was able to serve the community in several ways. Ahead of the blizzard, we sent a robocall to our list of volunteer and vulnerable residents with tips to stay safe during the storm. We also followed up personally with residents who have the highest needs and encouraged them to find alternate housing ahead of the storm. On Monday, we reached out to residents to check their status and keep them updated on shelter options as information became available. On Tuesday morning, I assisted the fire department in taking operation of one of our vans so that they could provide transportation to shelters, which they did, and they did that during the day. On Wednesday, Sue, Saranya, and I conducted wellness checks on over 50 residents. On Thursday and Friday, Linda made 70 lunches each day, which were delivered by staff and volunteers to those who were still sheltering in place. Those without power were encouraged to transition to shelters. The following week, I met with other COA directors from the Cape to share information on successes and areas for improvement. Saranya and I have met with a few residents recently in order to get their senior tax exemption application submitted by the deadline of April 1st. We are still able to meet with anyone who would like to apply. Call today to check the asset and income limits and schedule an appointment. I would also encourage people, I'll stop there for a moment, anyone who is watching, to, if they have any questions, whether or not they would qualify for any of the programs, and there are numerous. We have 9 various tax credit options that are available for people, to call the Council on Aging or call the Assessors Department, who handles all of those. They can walk you through each. I know of a couple people I'll be speaking to the next day to see if there are other options available. Bob, would you like to join us, by the way? We have room. Come on up. Richard and I are in the process of submitting room reservations applications for fiscal year 27 to secure space in the community center for our recurring programs. Our volunteer update, Rosa, Angie, and I met recently to make plans for the outstanding tasks related to the volunteer recognition luncheon, scheduled for April 2nd. Everyone have that in their notes? Okay, did everyone respond that they're coming? I hope. Everything's on track for a successful event. We invited 78 volunteers, including board members and Friends Board, and an additional 20 guests from other town departments and community partners. Thus far, we have 31 attendees, not including staff, but we have not yet done our reminder and final push for RSVPs. And in the past years, many RSVPs came in close to the deadline. We're excited to celebrate our Volunteer of the Year, Millie O'Callahan. This year, I'll also be commemorating our Provost Award winners by installing a wall plaque where names can be added each year. I'm really pleased to hear about that. Last week, Rosa, Saranya, and 4 of our tech help volunteers attended a training and networking event hosted by Barnstable County. This was a full-day event that brought together staff and volunteers from COAs and other senior service agencies with the goal of improving tech literacy among older adults on Cape Cod. Our volunteers implement some of those ideas. For example, The volunteers have agreed to help us expand our tech help program to include a weekly walk-in clinic versus only seeing people by appointment. They've agreed to work out a rotating schedule to staff the clinic. We will also be increasing the number and type of tech-related classes and scam workshops specifically addressing the topics that were identified as high need at the training. Other projects are also being discussed, and the overall takeaway is that our volunteers are all excited to step up and take an even more active role in helping to implement some of the ideas that day. I had other people who attended that who were not associated with our Council on Aging, and they thought the training was absolutely excellent. Did you go, John?
Yes.
It was great training, from what I
Yes.
understand. Actually, do you want to comment on it while we're here?
Yeah, Bob was there also. You got to collaborate, got to meet some of our abutting town COA staff, which was good. Saw a lot of demonstrations for devices that could help the elderly or impaired. And then just some tips on how to talk to customers, things like that. It reinforced a lot of things that we already do, so that was good.
Bob, what was your take on it?
Yeah, there was big emphasis on access and how a lot of folks don't have access, and something needs to be improved. But also not just giving people stuff. That was one message. Give them an iPad, and they're gonna say, "Okay, that's nice." With that one picture of an iPhone propping up a door to say, yeah, people will find a use for it, but maybe not what you intend. So. Generating that need, I think, would be an important thing. And they had a nice session on scamming and avoiding scams as well.
They're everywhere now.
Oh, absolutely. It's very difficult because you get them in email, you get them in phone calls. The tech is so important. We had a number of people at the men's breakfast this past month, and the library came and spoke, and they talked about the needs. Some of the members who were able to read their periodicals and their daily newspapers online through the library, and other guys were fascinated. How do you do that? So there is a need, and I think there's more of a need for teaching some of these basics. And as people get tight with the economy, you don't maybe not have to, and I'm trying not to disrespect any businesses, but if they can't afford to get a local paper or a Boston paper every day, that they can still read those papers through the library online, through their iPads, through their phones, through their computers. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to increase some of that training. Anybody else on that? Okay. One of the volunteer needs, we'd love to onboard new volunteers into our tech help program. With the momentum we currently have, this is a great time to join. So if anyone's watching our program today, if you have any interest in assisting in the area of tech, and you don't have to be an expert, you'll be trained, that we could use it, and our seniors in this community could definitely use it. Outreach and information sharing progress. I've drafted a rack card for the COA and plan to print a large number by the end of the month. We'll work on distributing it to many locations in the community as previously discussed. Does anyone want to see that before it goes out? No? Okay, that's fine. We've had a total of 46 new registrations for the newsletter via the COA website. And again, we had 16 first-time attendees to the men's breakfast.
Wow.
And the vast majority of them were not subscribed to the newsletter. And watching one of the guys who came in after the meeting and signed up to get his fob, he got the newsletter and he was blown away. He said, I never had any idea. He's been a full-time resident of this community over 7 years. And so we're seeing the disconnect, and the talk of communication and getting information out to people who just are not aware of what's going on here. And we are going to be doing that with social media, but Rose is not here today, who's going to be handling that. Traffic on the website remained steady in the first 2 weeks. There was a surge of traffic, which has since settled into a relatively steady rate. We're averaging around 220 site visits in a 30-day period with 180 unique visitors. The number of unique visitors is consistently a high proportion of overall sessions. And that's one of the things I had asked to get from staff. How many are actually utilizing that website? I think, and I want to see some of the numbers because I think it's understated. The more we talk about it, whether it's the men's breakfast, the women's breakfast, any of the programs that we're doing, anything that you're doing with other committees, and Sheila, to bring back to the facilities and committee, or Angie, if someone's not gonna be able to attend, that we talk about that, of using that website. And possibly down the line, we can work with the other departments here to maybe get some of their information on that website as well.
Is unique visitors, is that people looking for a specific thing?
It's basically people coming in for the first time.
Oh, first time, okay, yeah,
Which is, hopefully, I wanna see that increasing.
yeah.
And it ties right into the tech program and to the tech volunteers. You know, teaching people how they can log on, create a bookmark or a favorite, and just click one button and get back to that website when they need it.
It means that the different IP addresses
right,
have their
Yeah,
webpage.
unique, yeah.
Gotcha.
An approximately equal number of people find us directly by typing our address in and by clicking through from Facebook. Only about 9% connecting us from Google right now. That's interesting.
It's common though,
Yeah,
it's common practice.
I'd love to see how many are coming in through Facebook or other social media. And that'll be a good question to find. We'll wanna make that note to how many people are coming in through Facebook or other social media. The most frequently visited pages after the homepage are newsletters, activities and events, services, and fitness classes in that order. Doesn't surprise me.
Well, what you might wanna do is change the order on the page. If those are your highest hitters, you might wanna move them to a more prominent spot.
Absolutely. And if we're seeing that that's what they're looking for, again, we're trying to meet those needs of the seniors and pop it right in. And let me just see while we're here. And newsletters, activities, events, services, that's the way it's bookmarked right now. So those are the highest. And, you know, if those of you haven't seen it,
Yeah, I did.
and as John had just mentioned, that those are the orders where people are clicking in. I don't know, it's because of, that's the order that's there or not. And we'll need to see other areas, if they're going into more, which is fitness classes, meals programs, transportation, news about us getting started. We can monitor that, and that we can check through traffic. So we'll check with Rosa on that. But it's a very welcoming site. And so-
There ought to be a link from the town COA site to that, and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's weird on the town website, they have a section you can hit that says newsletters for everyone, but it's just, you know, it'd be better if it was directly from the site itself.
And we don't have the website there.
Yeah, there ought to be a link from the
Okay.
town COA
We
website.
make that note too, is to check with Rose and to see that that link is put on the town's website
To our,
to our howardcoa.com. Yeah, we should be able to make it easier for people coming in. And again, this is all part of this needs analysis that we're doing, of communication and getting out to people. Next month, I'll turn attention to building a page on our website that can function as a clearinghouse, as we've discussed, a place to find links to various resources in the community for housing, food, pantries, etc. It may take a while to fully collate this information. I'll bring updates as I gather resources to the list. The next section of recommendations for us to focus on is increased awareness of programs and services available. The specific recommendations listed in this section are as follows. Consider ways to welcome first-time participants who are reluctant to participate on their own, e.g. a new member day or bring a buddy program to welcome new participants. One of our members, we started that last month, brought 16 new people to the men's breakfast. He was out recruiting, getting people to join us. And it was a good crowd. There was a very good crowd that day. And I think as we start dealing with the website more and more, the things that we can do on the website to attract people to come. Again, as we talked about, in either a rec card or anything we're going to do in a mailing, which we've talked about setting aside, is a coupon, you know, for a free program, something to get them to come and see. And I'd love to hear your reaction. I mean, when I talked to the guys who came for the first time, I was blown away by their lack of information about not only COA, but the building as a whole. I talked to another gentleman who's been here full-time since October of last year, didn't know this building existed.
Wow.
And I don't know how someone who can buy a house here,
Yeah.
any realtor in town, this should be one of the focuses of why we're different than other communities. The second recommendation is recruit older residents with skills and knowledge, conduct welcome to the Harwich COA sessions, where people learn how to access COA programs and resources. Create ways for residents to suggest program ideas, offer training on how to be a program facilitator as a way of engaging volunteers. And that's something that we can use. And do we have it in here now? You're pretty familiar with the website. It would be great if we had and we've got a lot of information about volunteering, but it would be great if we did a bookmark, very prominent bookmark, suggestions for the COA. Love to hear what people are thinking, and those who are aware of what's going on here, what do they want to see? We've done the needs analysis, but having a button, and again, if you look on the website, the contact us button to the right, the larger green one, that's great. Would love to see something like that. And however we want to call it. But a Harwich COA suggestion button would create more interaction. And we'll see what people are thinking. It'll be a great follow-up to the needs analysis to see if the things that we're doing are meeting their needs or not. You just make sure we note on that one. We'd like to consider discussing a suggestion button on the website. So, and the contact us is pretty substantial. On my screen, I'd love to see it tightened up a bit and put more towards the middle of the front. I think that's one of the most important things we can do is be available when people are looking to contact us for information. Fourth was to implement a senior civic academy accessible to older adults by offering daytime sessions, considering adult learner styles, ensuring that topics relevant to a healthy aging in Harwich are included: transportation, how to access resources, and social engagement opportunities. And finally, explore opportunities to host or co-host satellite program in partnership with other town departments or organizations or businesses as a way of increasing visibility of the COA. Those are the suggestions that came out for, again, increased awareness of programs. What are other areas that we should be looking at and discussing? Or anything in there that you think we could do to, again, bring that awareness. You know, I love the Bring a Buddy or a New Member Day. And that's one of the suggestions we've made for the last 3 or 4 months at events that we've had. Next month, please bring a friend. What are your thoughts? Bob, anything?
I just became aware in my limited tech knowledge that you can invite all your friends to like a page on Facebook.
Yep.
And we did this with BHI, and we quadrupled our followers on it. So that might be something, you know, that especially people that talk to seniors all the time and know that seniors use Facebook. It's probably the only social media they use. Just throw that out there. So
It's easy to do.
yeah, it's amazing how many more people knew about us right away. So
Sure.
yeah.
Anybody else? Carol, please.
Yes, I'd like to see more information available on, the recent storms pointed out to me a real deficiency. And people knowing where to go, how to get help, you know, with the lack of warming centers. We used to have a fairly active civil defense program that, you know, opened up the tech schools and so forth and so on. And the only information I was able to get was on, you know, Facebook while I had power. And I didn't see anything about emergency shelters or anything, you know. All I kept thinking about was old people at Pine Oaks and, you know, lack of electricity and what all that was doing. And I think they probably need, I'd love to see some sort of a seminar on that for old people to understand what emergency resources are available to them. I mean, with hurricanes and storms and so forth. I thought Harwich's response was pretty inadequate, to tell you the truth. I didn't see enough help available. And I think there should be more of it, and I think there should be more awareness of it.
and let me just ask a question. How quickly did you lose power and or internet?
How quickly did
Yeah.
I lost it at 9 o'clock the day after the storm. I didn't get it back until Thursday.
Okay. I know we here did some robocalls, and we did
Yeah.
calling, but fire department, police department, I think we did as well as COA, we were heavily into social media, talking about the warming stations, charging stations. Police and fire were very strong, but if you lose internet, if you lose power, you've got nothing there. And I don't have a home phone anymore, so I don't know, some of the phones today, do you need electricity to have the phone? I don't know how many people still have a phone
I do.
connected to the wall.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you
well,
really?
I do too, but it was dead.
Because I don't trust the
Because
internet.
But it was
It's
that,
powered through Comcast.
okay, so,
Yeah.
Because it's
Oh, yeah,
a
Comcast,
VoIP,
you
it's an internet phone
Yeah,
nowadays.
right,
I mean, we lost it at 6:30 Monday morning for
Yeah.
4 days.
yeah,
And between, just using my cell phone to see what the police and fire and the COA was saying, and also listening to our portable radios, I heard quite a bit of information about
no,
warming
well, but I
centers
must
and
have been living in a black
transportation.
hole.
no, but I
because
think
didn't.
you make a great point, but that's a great opportunity ahead of a storm like that. To say, you're gonna possibly lose power, you're possibly gonna lose internet. The last thing anyone lost was cellular. And if you've got any type of smartphone, this ties right back into our tech discussion earlier. Teaching people, okay, you're not gonna have your TV, you're not gonna have internet. So how can you access all of these programs, facilities, warming stations, meals, etc.? We need to maybe be teaching people before a storm, use your phone. And, okay, Carol, you're not gonna have power, you're not gonna have internet, you gotta use your phone to say, what's on Facebook?
Right.
Who's doing what and I think it's a learning curve.
Definitely is.
And understand, we still have a number of seniors who are not tech savvy. We have many who are, but we have many who are not.
Right, well, I mean, I had a cell phone.
Yeah.
And I had, a backup booster for my cell phone, so I was okay, I had a cell phone the whole time. But I didn't see an awful lot of stuff from the internet.
Yeah, you
Really?
know, I was gonna
Good.
mention to you too, I'm sorry that you brought that up, because I was meeting with, Heath Eldridge the other day, and he was telling me, I always thought it was the Red Cross that came up to open the shelters. My first question was, why didn't people know ahead of time that these shelters were opening up?
Exactly.
But they've got a new group, I forgot the correct name now.
Yeah.
MRC?
What?
Sir,
MRC, is it?
That didn't ring, something
This-
bot, whatever, but I can't remember. But Heath Eldridge said that they loved this group better because it was a group of whole volunteers, and they're still looking for more nurses, because they have to have nurses to man these stations, and they were having trouble. And they're looking for a lot of volunteers, but I said, the problem is, nobody knew. In the past, we used to hear way in advance when the shelters were opening, way before the storm.
Or where they would be.
Yeah,
Right,
and that didn't
exactly.
happen until after, but he said this new group, and that might be something we can tie in.
would you try to
Yeah,
reach out to Heath and see what that group is, so we can reach
Yeah.
out to Lauren to get that? And part of it is, we haven't had a storm like this in a long time.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. However, they did not open a local Harwich shelter
No, they didn't.
until a couple of days after.
Yeah.
They did open eventually the police station for a warming center and charging, and they opened the school for warming, basically, but no shelter.
But if you didn't have separate power or backup booster power on your cell phone, you didn't know any of that.
Oh, no, I agree.
I
So-
mean, it just,
So,
and you didn't know, we did used to have a very, heavy duty civil defense operation for this. We don't have that anymore, and so,
I think it's a great opportunity is, we're talking about the recommendations
right,
of working with other organizations, the police department, the fire department, say, okay, how can we do better on this? I think it's a great opportunity for us to do it, and that we need to have a plan.
yes.
And again, here at COA, we need to have a plan. You saw the things they did a lot of things.
They did, yeah,
The
well, I saw them, but I was thinking about all the people that didn't see them.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it, I
you
get it,
know, or didn't know about them.
sure.
The warming centers was really an issue for me. The fact that nothing was open in Harwich, they, Nauset. Well, I'm a poor little old lady living in Pine Oaks, and how am I gonna get to Nauset?
And eventually they did provide, the police were providing transportation to them.
Exactly.
But again, timing and information, how is it available? But I think everyone knew the storm was coming.
I
Oh,
was
yeah,
just gonna
well,
say,
you
they
had to
knew it
live
was
under a
coming.
rock if you didn't know.
It's
it
like
was coming.
Hurricane Bob, they knew it was coming.
And I think it's a great suggestion to give us an opportunity to work with public safety in the community and others to say, okay,
I think there needs to be a stronger emphasis on that.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, we're looking at hurricane season too. I mean, granted, this was
Yeah.
unusual, but I mean, I think it pointed out a need to
Yeah.
me.
that's great. I think this is what we're looking for. You know, where are the needs that we have unmet needs that we need to address? And I think it's a great, and again, if you were by yourself and you didn't have family local, you know, it'd be a little scary, and you have no power.
Right.
I don't know, you may know, Angie or Sheila, if Pine Oaks has backup power.
I thought they were supposed to have generators. I thought that was a big thing that they bragged about.
I don't know.
And I was surprised if they
Pretty sure
didn't
they
have
used
backup
to,
generators
Even the
going.
older
I'm pretty
ones,
sure she's had
the,
power
the
than
older
that.
Oh,
ones.
all of them,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, the closest one.
The
whichever
closest one on Oak Street did have it.
I thought all of them was required to have.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
could
know
be
what
wrong.
Terry told me,
Yeah, yeah.
her experience, but.
But it was a good shakedown. I think we will talk with staff about tying in with public safety and the community. It's been a tough time. You know, our town administrator started Monday.
You know, I wanted to mention one other thing
Sure,
too,
please.
because the, couple of the plow drivers were telling me, later, and this is after the storm, that, you know, the people that have those Generacs
Mhm.
thing, a lot of them weren't working.
They
During
didn't
the storm.
clear- They didn't clear around it.
It didn't, yeah, it wouldn't work
Yeah,
or shut.
we've had that problem, cause our neighbors will call me up from Florida or
Yeah.
somewhere and say, I'm getting a message that my generator's not working. I would go over there and you'd find that it's all caked over with ice
Yeah.
Oh,
from the
okay.
storm. So the
Yeah.
wind and the slushy stuff
Storm.
we got just caked it over, and so therefore the air intake or the air exhaust wasn't
Okay.
working and it wouldn't kick in.
You had to, we have one, we're fortunate, we didn't lose any power at all. But the heat that is blown out, if you're blocking those things, it's gonna shut
From the
right
snow.
down. And there were a number of people who did
Well,
have
yeah.
ineffective
Oh,
generators.
that's what he was telling me, and I'm saying,
Yeah.
that's a problem, because you're assuming the generator's gonna work and everything's gonna go.
Well, you bring up a point too, about it's not just a winter situation. We chose actually to get our generator not after the winter or storms, was after the tornado. Because we had lost power for 5 days.
Right.
And all the food was thrown out and, it was just such a
Sure.
waste. That's when we decided to get it. And we do have hurricanes. We have had tornadoes. There are other
Strong
storms.
nor'easters.
And then we had a nor'easter last week,
Sure.
80 miles an hour, wind, so that stuff happens. And we do need to do a little bit better job of communicating. So it's a great point. We will follow up with staff to see, and when Julie's here, we can talk about.
Yeah, I'd
you know.
like to see more emphasis placed on that, I would.
Sure, thank you. That's a great point.
Yeah, what we did, we kinda went old school, 2 battery, powered radios.
Yeah, right.
Okay, prepared food the day before
Yep.
that didn't
Well,
need
I
cooking
did
and
all of that
that
myself,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't find my battery-powered radio.
Should've called me.
But I did have my phone, and I've got a couple of those, handheld.
And
Backups.
don't forget, you can, for the people that have cars, you can use your car
Yeah.
as a generator.
Fortunately,
also.
my phone backup is solar powered, and we did have sunlight, so,
Yeah.
I was able to back it up that way, but,
It's a great point about emergency preparation. We have one. We have a bin that has one of those hand crank radios.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
flashlight.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got the flashlights, and we've got the little
Oh, yeah.
and
lanterns and so
batteries
forth.
coming out my ears,
Um, And so we know exactly what's in the basement. It's labeled. And I think
Yeah.
it's a great thing for people to have, is,
Exactly.
an emergency
An
preparation.
emergency
Yeah.
kit, yeah.
Right. And here are things that you should have.
And of course, I think the thing with this storm, I remember, I was very busy the Friday before this, and my son called me. I had been doing something on the computer, I don't know, but anyway, I had my head down or something. Wasn't paying attention to the weather forecast. And my son calls me at 8 o'clock on a Friday night, and he said, "You have the weather on?" And I said, "No, I haven't. I actually have been busy all day." And he said, "Yeah, we're talking 12 to 16." And I'm going,
That's how I
"Excuse me?"
found out. Yeah.
And this is happening when? Because the weather forecast during the week had all been sort of, well, we don't know, and the English models and all of the models. And all of a sudden, guess what? It's now.
Click.
And it didn't give you a whole lot of time after that to get ready for it.
It was an interesting one because, the state basically did a, road ban people
Yeah,
to be off
Yeah,
the road.
yeah, yeah.
And I have another property in town that I needed to address. And I'm way off the road,
Yeah.
so we got things cleared out but going downtown, it was crazy. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
It was just, they basically did one swath down many of the
Oh,
roads.
it's just
You know, they didn't open up an entire road. It was interesting. It was a tough storm.
Yeah,
All right, let's get back to the needs assessment and the recommendations. And again, let's just discuss, we'll do 1, 2, and 3 today if we can do. Consider ways to become first-time participants who are reluctant to participate on their own. New member day, bring a buddy. What other thoughts might you have on how we can do that? Anybody? We can suggest it, but are there any type of program policy that we could look at to make it better? Bob, anything?
Was this distributed ahead of time?
I'll show you go. We're in the back right here.
Just the 1, 2, 3 thing.
Yeah, on the back page,
Oh,
the back
thank you.
page, those are the recommendations, and that's what we're working on now.
Okay.
And I think it's indicative of, what I saw last week with the men's breakfast, of how many people who have been here are unaware. And again, one of our volunteers, actually was last year's volunteer of the year, brought 16 people. And tickled, absolutely tickled. And it was, this particular program was on senior softball. And it was a woman who did the presentation. She was a dynamo. She was great. But we spent a lot of time after the meeting with people who were new. And I love that, and I think it was great on this particular volunteer. We recommend every year, okay, please bring a friend next month. Bring someone who's never been here before, just to introduce what we have here. Are there other suggestions we can use to increase that awareness?
How about if someone joins the community center, for example, for the exercise? If Caroline's team recognizes we have a brand new customer, that they in turn also say, are you aware of the other groups that are in the building here? So she gets, the community center gets a new person signing up for the
Can you bring that
fitness
to
room,
facilities?
and they would just say, you're new, do you also know the other groups?
And that's a good point when we do our joint meeting again, and Sheila's our representative to facilities, to bring that up. That's a great suggestion. And I finally, after so many years, finally joined the gym here. But that would be a great opportunity. Are you aware of everything else? Here's a community center calendar. Here's a council on aging calendar. Here's a rec and youth calendar or brochure. Great time to use the rack card for us, if not the newsletter. Because newsletters are available in the COA. Be great to have them there at that front desk. That's a great suggestion, John.
yeah.
Sheila, you will bring that?
Seems easy
Yeah,
to
sure.
do.
Could we utilize the chamber somehow, getting them to help recruit, for people that haven't been in the building much?
We could ask to see that our newsletters be placed there.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity.
The last newsletter that came to me, I read it from page 1 to the last page. It was so well done.
Yeah.
Because it kept referring more than once where you could go to get things.
How about new people registering to vote that have moved here?
That's a good idea.
So the clerk's office.
Well, we know the clerk pretty well. We can speak to her.
Can you also include it in your realtors welcoming people to the town?
We
When the
do, yeah.
realtors are selling.
And and that's a good point. Maybe you and I would go to a realtor meeting sometime
Sure.
and bring some newsletters. As both more mature realtors
I
who've
think
been around.
probably, I think I'm dead now, so.
Me too.
The win.
Really?
No, that's a great point. I always do it. If I'm showing someone new
Yeah.
who's coming in,
Oh,
it's one
yeah.
of the first places I stop is here. And I love actually bringing them in the building
Yeah.
and say, look what we got. Look at the gym.
Yeah.
COA, look at the rec and youth. And they're mesmerized by it.
Right.
Because when they're looking at, well, we're looking at Chatham, we're looking at Brewster, we're looking at Dennis, we have this.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They don't have this. So, great point. We'll get out to those.
Yeah.
All great suggestions.
It's too bad Brooks Academy's not open, that would be a nice place to have information.
Yep, it's coming, I
I
understand,
hope so.
it's getting there.
It's been a while.
Anything else we can do? New buddy program, member engagement,
The breakfasts, that's a nice way, yeah.
The churches too, especially now in the summertime when you've got
Churches.
more people attending and,
Is the Harwich Clergy Association still a thing and meeting?
I
Well,
don't know, it's a
yeah,
good
they
question.
Every other
have-
month?
Yeah, but our groups down here don't seem to be as active, so,
Because they do have newsletters.
yeah,
That's a good point, I'll ask.
Yeah.
I know one of the,
Is that Tiffany Pollock? Maybe?
Yeah.
She used to be the head of it.
Yeah.
so.
that's a great opportunity
yeah.
there as
I'm just
well.
saying, if you reach out to all the churches in town, cause
Yeah.
they're not as active as the other churches.
Well, and most of them are members of the Harwich Clergy
Yeah,
Association.
yeah,
And if we can get to one, we can get to them
Yeah,
all. When they, again, we'll like bring it to facilities, we'll have it bring to their meeting, and say, hey, could you at least, if nothing else, carry the newsletter in your church?
Yeah.
And post it. I know one of the churches that I attend, they do have it prominently posted, and they have copies of the newsletter there. I don't see a lot of times on bulletin boards, people studying bulletin boards,
yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know, it needs to be almost mentioned at times.
yeah,
And I think for any of the churches who were having services before the storm, would have been a great opportunity to say, hey,
that would've been a great
You know,
time, yeah.
here are some of the programs that are available if you're caught.
Right.
Would have been a great opportunity.
Right.
Well, we might be able to do that same thing, because we're due for a hurricane now, we've been lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be another opportunity to say, well, I'm just saying.
That's one thing we're
Yeah,
definitely gonna, I'll
let's
bring that up.
prepare ahead
Yeah.
before we get slammed again, you know,
Always the optimist.
yeah,
And that's, you know, again, that's great to bring back the facilities from COA is,
yeah,
okay, what are we doing as a building?
right,
You know, to make people prepared.
Yeah.
And could this be a warming center?
Right.
You know, versus the school?
yeah.
Is that a possibility? We have a lot of space.
It was at one point, wasn't it?
It was before, yeah.
Reason it stopped for any reason?
I don't know why they
I
stopped,
can't
although the tech was really good is actually being a shelter, because you could actually set up all the cots and
Yeah.
the chefs come in and the nurses were all in there. And it was pet friendly. That was another
Correct.
issue
Yeah,
that, you
there
know,
was a lot of discussion on that.
Yeah.
Just remember to be total cost of ownership. In other words, if you say, we want this place to be a warming center, the transportation,
Yeah.
any other amenities that go along with being a warming center.
Well, and it's, again, if nothing, can we be a part of it? Can we provide transportation with our vans? You know, and for people who are stuck. And again, I'm not sure our vans are the best thing in a storm, you know, to get people.
Right.
Police are out there doing it. You know, they have four-wheel drive vehicles. You know, some of us have four-wheel drive trucks that we can utilize, but those vans are not the best thing in any snow. And a lot of people were not plowed out.
that was another problem, yeah.
You know, people, again, to get someone from their house to a bus or to a vehicle
Yeah,
to get
according
there.
to my nephew, that was a huge problem.
Sure, oh, it was. And again, people who,
There's
you know,
an EMT.
where you live, you're not right adjacent to a road.
No,
You know, they would
No.
have to get in.
I could have
Hundreds
been
of-
dead back there.
It's true.
I was off of John's idea, you know, giving out, it'd be kind of hokey, but give a free ticket to the men's breakfast or the women's breakfast. I mean, not that it costs anything anyways, but, you know, it would be a more specific invitation saying, you know, come and.
Cannot be redeemed for monetary.
Can be redeemed for monetary value.
Coupon, zero monetary value. No, those things are so important. That's why we, and again, and I'll encourage, I don't get involved with the women's breakfast, I do with the men's. But those who are attending the women's breakfast, to do that, to make an announcement every month. Hey, bring a friend, let's see how we can max out how many we can have here. And they limit
Competition.
50 to 60.
Competition against the guys.
Oh, absolutely. We raise more money, by the way. We put a donation box. There's no charge, as you know, to join the breakfast.
Yeah.
We put a donation box out, so.
The
Yeah, but
women
I
are better
keep
at
feeling your hand in
registering,
my
the men are better at.
Right, see, the women are
Yeah,
better
that's true,
registering,
that's true.
men are better giving money. They're happy to get out of the house for a couple hours, that's all. All right, let's move on to the next one. Recruit older adults with skills, knowledge, conduct welcome to the Harwich COA sessions where people learn how to access programs and resources. Ideas. And I don't think we need to do a one-time thing. I think what we need to do is we've now got the ability through our website to do a video. And, you know, the popularity today of YouTube and Facebook and Reels and short videos, is so important that we can do that. That might be a great opportunity, you know, to have on the website, how to access the COA.
Yeah.
And do it as a video embedded in
That's
the
a good
website.
idea, yeah.
So people can say, hey, it's a quick
Great way to do it.
3-minute, 5-minute.
Yeah, I like that.
A tour,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and show a couple of the
Yeah.
presentations or classes.
sure. And, you know, I think it's, we use a lot of social media video in our business. And if we can do a 45-second to 1-minute social media video, and the draw of that is so incredible that it'd be perfect to do a walkthrough of, you know, a couple of events,
yeah.
show the office, show the building from the exterior, and link it, you know, back to the newsletter. But I think it'd be great to have it on the website.
Do you have somebody with that skill to make a video that would be?
We can recruit some folks to do it, you know, if necessary. We pay for hours that we do, you know, but if we could recruit someone to do it, it'd be great.
Well, I'm just, the friends could pay for that to get the video on.
I think that's a great way to do it. We can.
Could be good.
That would be great.
I know the guy that we use. He does the guy we use does incredible videos.
Yeah.
You know, and literally with his camera, we try to do it off the cuff many times, but there are times when some folks are better with a script. On his camera, he's got a script rolling.
Oh.
So as you're facing the camera, you're reading a script at the same time. It makes it so much easier and more natural. But that's something I think would have some traction.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We all good with that one? So
Yeah.
I'll make a note on that to bring back, and we'll discuss that again. I don't wanna go through all of them, because we're gonna be here all day if we do it. Anything else in that welcome to COA, or that we could do? All right, create a way for residents to suggest program ideas, offer training, how to become a program facilitator as a way of engaging volunteers. I think the number one thing we can do there is put that button on our website. COA suggestions.
Okay.
I think it really is as easy as you can do it. Great to have, you know, suggestion boxes around here,
Sure.
but if people are utilizing and we're getting more traction with that. And one of the things I will ask you, if you are on social media, any of you on the board, to bring up the page of the harwichcoa.com and share it, and just make a post about it. Say, hey, great information here, everything about the Harwich Council on Aging and the huge number of programs they offer, you should check it out. And just promote
Yeah,
it.
that's a good
And then
idea.
each of us who, when I see Sheila has a post, I can share her post.
Right.
She can share my post, she can share John's post.
Sure.
It's simple, it's easy, but again, we're gonna need to gain traction. We go with that one?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna hold that, we'll get into the others next month as well. And we have our joint meeting with Rec and Facilities the 31st. And anyone who wishes to attend, we had actually a great showing at the last meeting.
Yes.
So I know I plan on being there. Angie obviously will be there. John, are you coming again? Will you be this year?
Yes.
Great, so you guys are welcome.
31st, at what time?
31st,
1 o'clock.
1 PM. And you guys were there as well, Bob, you were there, weren't you? At the last joint meeting we had?
No.
Okay, you're welcome to join as well. And I think that's great, hopefully we'll get full commitment from
Okay.
everyone in the building to
I
do it.
think Jen Anderson's been hired.
Jen has been hired in the
So
rec
that's
department.
nice.
Our own little Jen, she's back in the building, I think, starting next week,
Yeah,
and she's very excited about
Yeah.
being back.
Good.
Glad to have her.
yeah.
We're glad to have her. Oh,
Can I go back to something that,
Sure,
just
go ahead.
touch on it briefly?
Yep.
The tech support thing.
Yep.
The Cape Cod Regional Technical High School, you know, obviously has a shop in that. And I'm wondering if we might be able to collaborate with them because for 2 weeks they do straight shop, they might be willing to have seniors come in.
like the whole group we had out here this morning?
Yeah, and be part of their whole, you know, shop 2-week thing and sort of appeal to them around you'll get a good recommendation for
Do you have
the
a
job.
contact there?
I do.
Well,
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
like to take that on?
Sure. And then I don't know who the tech person is at the high school. Might be harder to,
Steve Cass.
Yes.
Who?
Steve Cass.
Oh, yeah, I know he's video, audio, but is he also computers? Like people using their computer? Yeah, he is, isn't he?
They tie into it, and there's a new woman they hired too for the computers.
Great, so I'll contact her, I'm not, they may wanna send kids after school, and I don't know if, 3:15 on is a good time for seniors, but, get them in.
Well, if they're doing it as their shop, they can do it during the school day, can they not?
Yes, that's for the tech, but
Yeah.
for Monomoy
Yeah.
High School, I'm thinking of too, you know,
Let's start with tech.
okay,
That'd be great. So you'll take that on?
I will.
Would you note that our Ms. House will take care of reaching out? That's great.
I just think it'd be neat for the kids to have a bunch of seniors come in, and it's just something different in their
Oh,
normal
yeah,
learning.
that's a
But
great
here's the other
idea.
thing too, is
Yeah.
if we get someone who's doing it as part of shop
Yeah,
to help with our website.
yes,
And the thing is, I know Julie she's a little nervous because she takes ownership of that website, but we need to have it so other people can access and make changes as necessary. We wanna add a button, Julie's not around, we need to get someone to be able to do that.
Sure.
And I'd love to have one of the kids, if they're doing it, help do that
yeah,
and make it foolproof so anyone can make changes.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
It's wonderful. And again, it goes back into, working with other organizations and groups, so. Okay, anything else on that? If not, we're gonna go move on. Any new business to come before us today? I don't believe there is any. Do you have anything? All right, I'll go around the room. Bob, anything from Friends?
Just one thing, I think Julie may have mentioned to the last meeting, the Friends were going to do something with plumbers, electricians,
yeah.
contractors.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we had initially thought we would do something through Facebook and ask for recommendations, and a couple of new members of our board had suggested using Nextdoor to recruit that. I'm not familiar with Nextdoor, but apparently it's a good way to get recommendations, and it would, we still haven't worked out quite what our vetting process would be, because we don't want just, oh, Joe's Plumbing is a great place, but we're gonna start by using that mechanism to collect things.
We discussed this and we've been discussing it for a couple of months. My concern is the vetting process. People, oh yeah, my guy's great, and then he doesn't show up to someone's.
Yeah,
And then I don't want the COA being negatively impacted by someone who's not doing what they need to do. It's great to have those things. And I love the fact, well, you can go to Nextdoor, you can go to Yelp, there are ways to go to get those recommendations. I just wanna be very, very careful on the vetting process. It's realtors, Carol will know that people come to us all the time, who's your plumber, who's your electrician, who's your contractor? And I know I would never get a name unless I've used them personally, and know that they will do it, and tell them straight out, this is a referral from me, take
Yeah.
good care of them.
Yeah.
So I just, again, I offer caution, we have to be careful as an organization for the town
sure.
in vetting that stuff out, so.
Would using realtors for that be a better resource for obtaining recommendations? Because any of these others are just crowdsourced and.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. It's really, really tough. I mean, you ask 10 realtors, they've got 10 different recommendations of people.
Yeah, it is tough, and, the guy that you recommend now, in 6 months from now, might not be a good recommendation. And sometimes these things linger. I know, I used to put out a booklet,
Right.
of,
Yeah.
referrals. And I found out rather quickly in that experience that they didn't always work because of timing, in the future. I mean, I would put this booklet together in 6 months, find out that somebody had died or moved away, or, there were, or people had bad experiences, so it's a tricky process,
Yeah.
to say
It
the
is.
least.
My biggest concern is I know that certain people that I've used for years as contractors, they're really, really busy. So someone says, well, I've got a leaky faucet, I need it fixed tomorrow. You can't get one of my guys tomorrow. I have one guy who will, but all he does is service and he's straight
Yeah.
out. But to get someone that fast,
Yeah.
you're gonna pay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pay dearly,
Yeah,
and then
it-
what I don't wanna
it's
hear is, well, yeah, this guy came to fix my faucet, charged me $400. Is your faucet fixed? You know,
Yeah,
Was it
it's
fixed
a slippery
today?
slope.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So those are the things that, again, open it up for discussion, of what people think. It is a slippery slope.
But it does seem to be a need.
Oh, absolutely, it is a need, and
Yeah,
it's
so
all I look at is what is the vetting process? And how do we insulate
Right.
the town and the COA and the staff from saying, well, here's who I use, and you know, he does a great
And
job.
it needs to be an ongoing process. You know, it's not something that you can do just one time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you need to stay with it on a, you know, a fairly
well, I was thinking what you were
regular
saying, you know,
basis.
you get a new guy and he may be very anxious to help people and be there on time and
Right.
everything else, you know, and then once he's established, he's
Yeah, I
too
care less,
busy or
exactly. I
not
mean,
as-
this
not
happens.
as anxious.
And you just, so when you're vetting, even restaurants and what have you, I mean, what was good this week might not be good next week. It's an ongoing process. You have to keep doing it.
Your thoughts?
I just don't think we should enter that realm.
Yeah.
Because we represent a town agency, and I just don't think we should enter that realm at all.
Well, that's why friends are talking about taking
Right,
on it.
right.
Here's the problem. People hear the phrase, Harwich Council on Aging.
Mhm.
What does it mean?
they didn't hear friends.
Did they hear friends?
Yeah.
Did they hear board of directors? What they think of
Yeah.
is staff.
Mhm.
And this building and this department, that's what they think of. And so they don't say, well, I got this recommendation from the Friends of the Harwich Council on Aging. What they hear is Harwich Council on Aging.
I mean, I appreciate the need, everybody
Yeah.
needs to know, we have a list of contractors
Sure.
and plumbers that we've used in the past.
Sure.
And really, if someone asks, we say we've had a good experience, and that's like it.
Sure.
Okay, and, you know, it could be out of date,
Mhm.
but we represent a government agency, so therefore my suggestion, we should not even enter this realm.
And this is the discussion Bob and I had early on when we discussed it, and it's, the Friends have a right to do what they wish. I would almost prefer just, sure, you're looking for a plumber, go to nextdoor.com. You know, they vet and they look at different people. My guy is exceptional. If I call my guy, he'll be there today, but he's not taking any new clients on. So, yeah, here's my plumber, here's this guy. Well, no, he doesn't want any more business. He's tough to keep up the business that he has. He's exceptional. And I'd love to be able to offer him to use everyone, but he's a single plumber who does service work. He can't take on anymore. And, you know, he's in his 50s and slowing down, so it makes it difficult. So I think, and if you're discussing at one of your next meetings, I'll be happy to come, or one of us may want to come to discuss with it. We want to make sure that we're protecting the name of the Harwich Council on Aging. So, anybody else on that?
I was just curious, I don't know if it's, do the plumbers, builders have any kind of like a union thing where they could post up and list all the different people in our community that do this type of work? I don't know if there's any union,
Yeah, the only
I've
one I'm
never
aware
heard
of
of it,
is,
but I
is
was just
the
curious.
Home Builders Association.
Yeah.
They do, they have a very formalized group. The case in point of build, I need a builder to put a deck on.
Yeah.
Well, here's my guy, he's booked till,
Right, yeah.
April of 27.
Yeah,
So you're not getting your deck built this year, or I need one big one, it's fireplace. There are so few masons out there,
Oh,
right,
God, yes.
Yeah.
and they're just so straight out.
Yeah.
Especially after this winter and the storms, it makes it difficult to do it.
yeah.
But I know it's a need that we have, but is it a need that we can fulfill?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just
sure.
hoping to take off the ownership off of you, that
Sure.
if there was some kind of an association.
But I do like the idea of saying, well, Nextdoor is a community-based website that people will field recommendations. And it takes the responsibility off.
Yeah.
You know, it's, for us, I think, for a council and staff, I don't think it's something we should be doing.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I'd rather be the source of the source.
Correct.
As you say, recommend next door
Yeah.
or recommend, you know.
Well, I wouldn't even say the word recommend, I would say these are possible.
Suggest.
No, not even suggest.
Suggest
These are
either.
sources
Okay.
that you
Oh,
can
right.
explore,
Yeah.
okay?
Absolutely.
Because you gotta be careful of the connotation that you're really
Yeah,
promoting
well,
something.
you're right about that.
You know,
Right.
so you might say, use your best judgment, explore these options,
Yeah. do your
something
homework.
like that.
Right,
Well, there was discussion at one time, this goes back a number of years here at the Council on Aging too. It was, well, why don't we let people have an application and they can pay to be on our list? That's the worst thing you could do. Well, you're getting paid to have someone that.
Is there
Yeah.
any other public entity in Harwich that does lists of services external to the town, okay?
The only one that does it is the Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah,
and basically they take anyone who will pay
but they're
their
not a
fees.
town agency.
No, they're not.
Right, so there is no other town government organization that has a referral list.
Well, think about it. When the town does anything, if they put something out to bid, the bidding process says, here's what we need. How do they choose them? They choose the least expensive one. Doesn't mean it's the best. But they're the ones saying, well, we'll do what you want us to do at this cost. And that's the cheapest one out there. Doesn't mean it's the best one. And that's why, the bid process, public is difficult, but that's what you have to do.
Right.
You have to take that. So I think from our perspective is our word, I think would be, from what I'm hearing, unless I'm hearing differently, the consensus of the COA is, be careful.
That's not what I heard.
Don't do it, Bob, don't do it.
No, I mean, you could probably reference like the
Next
next door
door,
thing, but word it such that you're not endorsing it.
Right.
You're just
No.
saying, consider it.
Well, I've
or-
seen many people request the same information on Facebook, anybody recommend an electrician?
Sure.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I see that also. Just
But here's the thing, it doesn't carry with it
The COA.
Harwich Council on Aging.
Yeah.
And that's, people can't discern the difference between staff, Council on Aging, directors, and friends.
Yeah.
It's always the Council on Aging, that's all they think about. And frankly, for a lot of people, they don't need to know the difference. But, they're an advocacy nonprofit group, we're an actual board of directors, committee of the town, and we've got staff. So, I love it, John's suggested language. Sources of local
Referrals,
contractors are, not even to use the word, sources of local contractors can be found at nextdoor.com, yelp.com.
Yeah,
whatever, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Does Angie still exist?
I don't know,
It's
it does,
a
It does
does,
exist,
yeah.
it's not the old Angie, I guess.
It's not
been
Angie's list, it's-
reconfigured.
It was
They changed the
bought,
name
yeah.
to
It was
Angie,
bought,
but you have you have to join it, it's a pay to play.
You have to
The,
sign up for Nextdoor too, it's free. But you
Yeah.
do have to sign
That's
up.
right.
as Lauren says, that you need to sign up for Nextdoor, it's free,
Yeah.
but you have to sign
Like
up
I have
for
the
it.
app on my phone, I can just go in
Well,
Just
I-
call
I-
you.
I-
Call Lauren, she's got
and.
Nextdoor.
Except my recommendations are for like Match Pink to it, so.
Well, I tried to sign up and it had me living in Montana. So I mean, there were no neighborhoods near me.
goodness.
Wait, that's, you're a
Like
Cape boy.
Montana?
Because we had an earthquake in the Cape Valley.
Apparently, I don't know.
The Chronicle has that service directory in the back, but,
And a service directory is just a paid advertising.
yes.
That's all it is. Someone get paid to put their name in, how good they are, how bad they are, with seniors who contact us, we're the safety net. People are coming to us for advice that we know we're doing, that no one's gonna be putting any harm. And you mentioned the fact of the scams. We have to be so careful to vet out everything that we're doing so that we're held on a higher pedestal than anyone else. Because we're dealing with, the most vulnerable of our community. So you've got our message.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bob, anything else?
No, I think that.
Angie?
No, I'd like to thank everybody that helped out during the nor'easters, so a special thank you to the Council on Aging too, and everyone else.
Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you at the joint meeting.
Yeah.
And thank you for conducting that. Linda?
Nope, I'm fine. I wasn't here in the storm, my son made me go to Shrewsbury.
Oh, you were lucky.
He did, he called me up, Mom, just come.
Yep.
Why? And I wasn't gonna go, but,
Did you have a good time?
yeah, it was nice, I didn't have to do it.
That's good.
That's the best
Well, you
part.
deserve that.
You
That's
deserve that.
great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But I wanted to come back home, and then the governor said, no, not yet, and I went, what?
That's all right. That's good. How's the knee, by the way?
It's fine.
Good.
It's
Anything
fine.
from you?
No, we survived the blizzard, not really any problems, mostly nuisance.
Yeah.
Did I think 2 grocery drives for the town.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Carol?
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Sheila?
Angie and I at Harwich Children's Fund had a great dance for the best friends.
Oh, awesome.
Valentine's Day
Yeah.
dance, there could be an Easter one, but just love that room for that purpose, it was very well attended, so.
And you will bring our, and just so you know, when Sheila, who is our representative to the facilities committee, I know her first meeting, they caught her off guard. Do you have a report from the COA?
Right.
And they were like, oh, I'm supposed to have a report? So you've got some items to bring
I do.
this month?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Anything else? Lauren? Hearing none, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved and
Second?
seconded by Carol. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Bob, would you get the button? Thank you. Just want to be sure some of those notes that you mentioned.
Very good.
You want me to say?